people. That the only way you can teach children, you know, is by example.
Hi, my name is Bernard Robinson, and I'm a good-looking native.
You must have been visiting Father John.
Yeah, I was here last year. Okay, now can we start this off with a little prayer? We can all stand and hold hands.
Many of the people who are acting here as facilitators never have had that experience before. And to have the self-confidence to say, yeah, I did it and I did a good job, that's really great. And things are happening, even though I might not have the sense, they might not go the direction I thought I had to have them, because there isn't a have to. The have to is to have the people to come together and to talk and to celebrate and share their experience. And that's happening.
Miigwech. Okay. What we're going to do is we'll just talk. We don't want any circle or anything. We'll just, whoever feels like talking at the moment, we'll just... Okay. So we can start here, and I'll give you the question, what are my dreams and visions? The purpose of this question is to get people to explore and share the dreams and visions that they have for themselves, their families, their community, their people in the focus of the Native Church. Okay? What are my personal dreams and visions? What would we like to see as people from inside the church to do to become more in touch with natives, native issues, native concerns, to bring the natives into the church more and, you know, a more part of the church, you know, so we can just say whoever wants to talk, we'll go around in a circle. What do you think?
Speaking, continuing on what Nancy had to say, for instance, I was raised a Christian. I'm a real old lady. And I didn't know anything about the traditional Indian spirituality. All I can remember is that our people were always their brother's keepers. You know, they looked after everybody. I don't know whether that was part of it. You could call it spirituality or what. That was what made the greatest impression on me. and I've lived my life that way. But I hear people talking about Indian spirituality, and I'm like the bishops, all have to be taught.
I think we should draw the people together, the elders together, to be able to teach themselves, allow them to bring together what they know and
Little bits,
yeah, right, little bits and pieces. Then we'll be able to. I know when I just moved back to Baraga again, that some of the elders says, "Would come, Father John, will you teach us what this sweat lodge is?" So the elders are reaching out, they're bringing it together.
I think the people are afraid of learning our spirituality. They don't know, like Helene said, they don't know what it is exactly, and it's a tag that's been put on. I think just living our life has been Native spirituality, but now people are putting tags on it, you know, Native spirituality, and we're going, what is that, you know? But what it is going back to fasting, which is the main part of all Indian strength is fasting. I don't think this year was the first year we fasted. We had in California. I think we're more progressive in the cities than we are on our reservations. We've had a 4-day fast in the city in Los Angeles. No food and no water, led by our spiritual director, Father John Haskell, and then we had a retreat that weekend. But we had 15 people, and it's a very, very powerful prayer and sacrifice for the people, and I didn't believe I could do it. I couldn't believe I survived the 4 days with no food and no water. We were camped by a river, but this is what our people have to do to get our strength and learn who we are. And I think from there we can go and teach each other and learn from each other, and then we can go on to the church, you know. But first we have to be amongst ourselves, and that's how we learn. I know I come back to the reservation, even my sister says, well, what did you know? You know, how come you think you know so much? You know, right away you have to be defensive, you know, and I go, I'm learning. You know, I went on a fast. This is the way I'm dealing with it. On the culture, maybe we had lost for so long, you know, but it's a natural thing that we're born with. We just have to learn it and express it. And I think fasting is probably one of the most powerful things we can do as Indian peoples.
I served on the council, the tribal council for years. And every so often I tell them, the council leaders, that they had to be models for the community, models for the children, models for the home life. I don't think I got it across. This is maybe was 30, 40 years. I don't know how you get that across to people, but the only way you can teach children, you know, is by example. And I don't see it on our reservations. I don't know if the people see it up here in Canada or not. But we need strong people who are examples, models for our children to live by. Because we can't expect them to be good people if we're not.
I think one thing which I would like to see is the American bishops working with Canadian bishops. There's no line between us as Indian people. That was put there by the nations. And that's why I brought a lot of my parishes up here, because we feel more connected to the Canadian, our Ojibwe tribe up here than we do scattering way down. And I agree with what they said, spirituality. The elders are living the spirituality of our people. A lot of them. And but it's maybe the tag they put on them that's confusing people. Living that love and respect to get together with our elders. And I had one elder come up to me and she says, I speak the Crow language, but I don't go to Sweats. And I says, you are living the Crow way and teaching your children. This is the Crow way today. You can't go back to 1492 and say our way died and stop growing. You know, it grows all the time in the ways of our people. Our medicines grow. And we got to watch out the terminology we use, which is scaring people away. And I think we should work on our terminology. That's what I want to put there. Work on our terminology also. Of what we're talking about. What is our Indian way?
Yeah.
For one thing, we're calling, in my mind, maybe I'm different because I don't see no distinction between my native and so-called Christian way. I'm saying there's two ways. A woman said the other day when I come up to her, she says, I was in Hannibal at a funeral. My children have gone to the Indian way. I don't know what to do. And I says, well, they're living the Catholic way and in the way of our people. As in the sweat is our Catholic way. And all these things, this distinction of traditionalism and Christianity. No, we live one way of life. See? Distinction is confusing people. Up north in the Cree country, I know, a lot they want to, they say mix, huh? Well, there's no such thing as mixing what is already one. We are one people. And if the church begins to understand that, this is who I am as a native person, and this is how I worship. This is how I come to Christ, who is the center of my medicine. That's God. Christ is Shimanado. We can't say Shimanado gave us this and Christ gave us that. No, it's all one. So our terminology has to be fixed on all these things, and we as those of us in these spirituality groups, it's up to us to do that.
For me, I guess for me, I don't really understand that cultural way, you know, because I was never brought up in it, or I never saw that way of life at all, you know. I know that some elders would put tobacco and for medicine if they picked it, and that's all I know, you know. When they used medicine, they put tobacco, you know, back into the ground. But I've never seen, like the first time, and it was just a few years ago that I seen peace pipe ceremony and things like that, you know. I haven't, before that, we never saw anything like that before. And it's kind of strange, you know, a little bit alien for me to think that way. I don't know. And then there is a lot of fear now, and some of, like in our community, that and there's a split between the church and the cultural people. So those ones that are going, and that's the younger generation. That's going that way, you know. And they don't go to church, so that makes a difference. I don't know what to do about it. I don't, I'm not shying away from what I see. I'd like to learn. We were never taught that way, or brought up that way.
Why I think it's so important that we come together. Right now, the young people are grabbing things here and there without direction.
Yeah.
And we can have some guidelines from the elders.
Mm-hmm.
Do this, do that. It'll come together. It'll come together someday as one. But right now, we're growing through this time that the things were taken away from us 100 years ago, or whatever, and things just disappeared. They were there. But we had the young ones are grabbing right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to be corrected here and there. We do have some elders on the road. That's why I go around North America, trying to heal this brokenness and to help the young people to learn the right way.
Mm-hmm.
The elders in the community are afraid, and that's why they're not speaking.
Yeah.
Talk to the elders, and there's tears in their eyes. They want to speak, but the young ones don't listen.
Yeah.
There's got to be bringing together the elders and the young people. First of all, the young ones have to be given responsibility as soon as you can of the tribe. And then allow the elders to come together to talk together, so they can again come out as the voice to the people. I don't blame them for not talking because the young ones don't listen. But now we start to bring this together, and that is what church is. And that is what church is, bringing together the people. And it will come. So we got to be patient and work little by little. And the young ones are beginning to start to listen. I go among them. They're starting to listen now. But I think the most important thing is that our elders can come together to discern these things together. And that's a big thing the church has to do. Allow this among our people. And there is confusion. But in that confusion, I can always see there's time of growth. Things are growing, and that's why things are confusing. But the growth will give us strength to stand as a people.
Yeah. We really don't understand the traditional Indian culture, as I see it. We have to learn. Maybe, as Father John says, bits of knowledge from this person and that person and trying to get it put together. Somebody trying to put it together so we don't know.
The beat of the drum, and I've experienced that, and it just sort of just like the heartbeat, and as it beats a little more and more and more, your whole being seems to get in with the beat of the drum, and you're I don't know, you just want to get up and dance or something. I don't know. Just follow. That's what I mean. To follow the drum, the call of the drum, and I see it with my grandchildren. We took them to Manitoulin Island, and way up on top of the hill you could hear the drum. And my little grandchildren, they start, and as soon as it's just a natural instinct to do that. And they're not full native, they're half, and they still have that. And as soon as we opened the door, got off, and the little boy started dancing, just his own rhythm. And there's a special call in the drum, and I experienced that. And I wouldn't mind if they'd accept that as like a procession in the church. Like it would, and I think it's a special thing.
Yeah, because the drum, it is the heartbeat of the Indian nation. And I believe it would blend in well with native church. Excellent. Because the songs are real, they're sacred and special. Very important.
I believe that once we find our culture, we'll find our strength. Our strength is there. And our kids are our teachers in a different respect, because they are yearning and they're seeking for that strength. And we and the elders are at the other end, and they want their culture back. So we have to unite, and we'll find our strength.
On our 4-day fast, we had some youth that have gone back to sweats, and they want to learn about the pipe ceremony and the fasting. And all those kids are getting off alcohol, and because they're going back to practicing the sweats, they're finding out that you don't abuse yourself and your wife and your children, by practicing your sweats and your pipe and being who you are in your fasting. And I think that's good. I think it's good. I'm really encouraged with the youth doing this. And maybe they can teach us as elders what we don't know. They can teach us. We can learn from them.
We do learn from our very young. The mother, she learns a lot, that because they're very inquisitive, I guess, young people, and they ask a lot of questions. So, and then it makes you think, like the mother, especially, and the father. It makes the person think. And she was speaking of alcohol, and I think that's where we do have to turn to is our children to teach the elders to, I've got grandchildren, and they ask a lot of questions, and I have to have an answer for them.
But I want to share one vision with you that gives me strength to go on all the time. There was a vision one of our medicine people had way back in the 15, 20 years when I was working with them. And in that vision there was a sick girl. There was a sick girl who was blind and could not find her sight. And they called in medicine people from all over Ontario. They came in, they prayed, did their medicine. The woman was still blind. They called in medicine people from Minnesota, and all the different areas of our nation. And they came in and prayed. Nothing would happen. They came in one day after going through all these, and they called me, and I just prayed, touched that woman, and she received her sight. But I asked, and in many dreams after that, I was looking for the continuation and the explanation of the dream. I was always looking for that woman, no matter where I traveled. And I could never find that woman who was blind. And all of a sudden, the Creator just brought within myself who that woman was. That woman was not a physical woman. That woman was the church. It was so young in our country. And it says, we must go and heal our mother church, and to bring that strength to the church in. And that has given me vision to keep going, even though I'm so tired of getting on airplanes and cars.
Are you having any luck?
16 years I've been on the road, I see a tremendous growth among our people. You never saw the sweat lodge and everything around in the church and all that stuff. You never saw that 15, 20 years ago. But today I see such a tremendous growth. It may not be all that we want it to be right now, but there's such a tremendous growth, and I'm so happy. I keep praying every day, Lord, take me home today. I want to die. I want to go home. I've done enough. He's telling me, Johnny, keep going, but I says, I've done enough. I've seen so much growth, and I'll never live to see what I envision in the church, but I know it's going to be there, because I see the young people in AA treatment. I look at them and I say, a 16-year-old saying, I am an alcoholic, then I know there's going to be something for our people. We can get right down to the young people and begin to teach. That gives me hope, that gives me vision, and that gives me the strength to say, yes, our people will be well. It's going to take time, but our people will be well. We will have a native church. I'm not saying looking at if we can have, no, we will have a native church in the world today. And we are part of that world. And that world we have to teach the world. And that's why when I pray, it's for every single nation and culture, every single person. Because they are my brother and sister. They are looking to us in this country for spirituality, for its direction. You can see that so much more. That they are my family. In a way, my family. They are the ones that I'm there for. That's my vision, and that's what I see.
I think that the things that are surfacing from the focus group are fantastic in that even as leaders, the people who are leading those focus groups as Native people really have taken on, again, a lot more responsibility for their own direction. And that to me is a beautiful sign.